KFAN.
It's the Power Hour, powered by Quantum Fiber, live at KFAN.com/watch. Parrish is going to slide to his left, get on cam with Alexis.
Oh, yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. One of these days.
It's going to be beautiful.
How long we've been doing this bit?
A couple years.
Yeah, I'll remember one of these days.
It's not like you and Alexis aren't on camera. Not together necessarily, but you guys are both in front of cameras.
Yeah.
What's happening?
From time to time.
Parrish, when are you on Bally or NHL Network next?
23rd. I'll be doing, I think it's the 23rd. Let me make sure about that.
The Bruins.
Yeah.
Coming to town. Little rematch action.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. 6 o'clock
Rematch.
tilt. And
That's Saturday?
That's Saturday. And then I'm actually done for the year after that. This December's been kind of great in a way. There's just been a ton of high school hockey games. I really didn't get a chance to work all that often, so it's been a lot of family time. And for this kind of time of the year, it's been awesome.
It's probably pretty good. Alexis, when can people see you or hear you next on a broadcast?
Let's see. Tonight we've got high school boys basketball, so that'll be a fun broadcast tonight. We've got some holiday. We've got.
Who you got tonight?
You know, I know we're covering Simley High School because they're in our coverage area. I don't know who they're taking on, but that should be a fun one.
And 12 hours to prep.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got a couple holiday hockey tournaments coming up at the end of the year, which are always fun.
Awesome.
Yes, they are.
All right, Sauce, let's do Fan 5 because before the break, you said you have breaking Gophers news, and nobody loves breaking Gophers news more than you.
Yeah.
It's time for Fan, brought to you by Builders and Remodelers.
The number one player in the state of Minnesota, Cory Persich is staying, and he will be a Gopher.
It's one of the Gophers, okay.
As he should.
Nice.
Why wouldn't he want to?
Wonder what we had to pay him.
Right. I mean, he had to get, for sure. Because Ohio State, I think, came on strong towards the end. But yeah, Cory Persich, the defensive back from Esko, Minnesota, will be here.
I didn't know there was question marks.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
He looked at me to confirm, like I know where Cory Persich is from. I don't know.
Well, Esko.
Oh, that's what you were wondering? Yeah.
You were asking
Yeah,
the
that's
pronunciation?
Yeah.
Oh, that part I can definitely verify. I thought you just meant, I thought you were questioning whether he's from there.
Yeah, is
Me
it
too.
Esko?
How else would you possibly pronounce that?
Esko.
Esko.
I guess Esko is a possibility.
Thank you. Esko. Where is that? Next to Cloquet and Carlton. Oh, by Steve's Top Hat. Yeah. Steve's. Thank you. That was funny. That caught me off guard. That was good. Thank you. I've been calling it that for years. I know.
Definitely have.
Oh.
All right.
So, yeah, that's good news for Gopher fans. If you're heading up to Duluth for, like, Christmas, like Bentleyville, swing by Gordy's Hi-Hat. It's a really good place.
I thought it was seasonal.
It's seasonal, yeah.
You
Damn
can
it,
still swing
Cory.
by. It just won't be open.
Check it out.
I was going to get one person to tweet angrily at me.
Why would you want that, Halby?
Zach's such a
He
troll.
lives for it.
Yeah.
And I walked right
what I
into
live
the
for.
bit and stepped on his touchdown call. He was trying to send people across the state.
Yeah. Like
Waste
people are in
their
the car
time.
going, oh, I know I'm in Maple Grove, but I'm going to drive to Cloquet.
Because Halby said so. Without checking first if they're open or not.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Also one of the most beautiful fish, right?
Yeah.
It's a top 10
Agreed.
looking
Bad.
fish.
Do you remember when koi fish tattoos were all the rage? Why?
Nope.
No idea.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like back when I was in like college. That was a big thing.
Oh,
Is it because
Esko
of MC
is-
Escher?
Sorry, I didn't mean to dump on Esko. That's Lieber's spot.
Oh, yeah. He vacations there every year. That's Lieber's spot.
That's
You're right.
Yeah, koi fish tattoos were like all the rage. Everybody had one in like the
And it was like blue or like orange.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Where was I? I lived through that. Parrish?
Florida. I was in Florida. I don't know. That wasn't a big tattoo thing.
A lot of
down there, I
manatee
guess.
tattoos in
Yeah.
Florida?
Do you have a tattoo, Cor?
I do not. Now I'm a rebel for not having one.
Yeah,
Like,
now
before
you're
I was
different.
the lame-o.
Yeah.
Now I'm normal or not normal.
You know what
because
you should
I don't.
do? Carol should do 311 in Roman numerals. Straight across
See,
the
but
shoulder.
that's the main reason I'm glad I never got a tattoo. If I got one when I was 18, it would have been 311.
That's what I
based.
always say.
And
What's that supposed to mean?
They're still my favorite band in 2023, but I'm kind of glad I don't have a tattoo of them.
I would have hated anything I would have picked out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got
Now.
one when I was 18.
Yeah, and it's a Dave Matthews tattoo.
Yeah.
You have ants crawling up your leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got cool tattoos. Though.
Yeah.
I love tattoos on everybody else. I just
And I have my wife's name on my left arm, which is originally is my sister's name.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
The permanent nature of tattoos scares me.
Choose wisely.
I'm not very committed to like something that I could change my mind about years ago.
Well, then why don't you get something tattooed like "I love bidets"? Because it seems like
actually, that's not a
going
bad idea.
Power wash my BH.
Bidet Daddy.
Yeah, you're committed to power wash.
If Power Wash My BH isn't the title of the podcast, you're fired. It has to be.
You've chosen some interesting hills to die on today, Helvey.
Bidet Daddy. That is the podcast title, and that has to be a T-shirt.
That's pretty good.
I have 3 tattoos, and I would when I got them all when I was 18, 19, 20, whatever years old. And I would say I don't regret any of them. I'd probably change one of the spots of where I have one of my tattoos, but besides that, I'm fine with them. I think I chose wisely.
Do you like koi ponds?
You know what? I used to have one up at our cabin.
Oh, sick. Is it near Esco?
Yeah, somewhere on there.
Lieber
Actually
spot?
pronounced Esco.
Yeah, it's Federal Dam is actually where we were.
Federal Dam.
Federal
I know where
Dam.
that is.
Yep, up by Bemidji.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and we had a bunch of koi, and I spent way too much money on these koi, and they put them in the spring, and by the time I had gotten there in the summer, the bear and otters had eaten them all. So I never got to see a single
Zach,
one
why
of the
did you eat
koi.
'em?
You're not kidding, dude. Those things are not cheap.
Yeah.
So there was.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I don't
one
know,
heck of a meal that I bought for those animals.
something like, God, it must have been like 15 years ago. You know, some office buildings have koi ponds in the lobby area.
Mm-hmm.
I went on a sales call with this guy, and there was like a path across the koi pond. Dude slips and falls in because there was no rails, lands on a koi fish, kills it.
Oh, my Lord.
Security cam footage. I've seen the video. Everybody can watch it.
Yeah.
And they tried to charge us for the dead fish.
Yeah, those things are expensive.
Did you try
Very
to catch him?
expensive.
That poor fish.
Did you try to catch him?
My buddy that fell
Yeah.
in? No, I kind of matrixed backwards, and he was not happy when he saw the
What?
security footage. The story's longer.
he didn't wanna go
I
in
could
and
tell
kill
that
the
whole
koi
story,
fish.
but it would take like 22 minutes to tell you, so I don't have
There'd be a
time.
whole office debate about it, right?
I mean,
If you caught him or not. I've only seen that clip.
God, I wish Rosie was here. I mean, these two fell for it, but Mark would have fallen for it 1,000%.
Yeah, he also would have been asking Bidet Daddy more
100%. All right, so anyway, Coy Persich is playing for the Gophers. I mean,
That's where that started.
I honestly do.
Yeah, I also lost
I
that train
forget
of
where
thought.
we started, yeah.
I'm curious what he gets promised. Right? If you're a big name in
The
the state.
NIL now, everybody's
what is-
curious.
Chance to play for the Minnesota Golden
Free
Gophers.
butter.
It's got to be better than that now. What is he getting paid?
Free butter from Land of the Lakes. Probably free Cheerios, maybe. I don't know.
From General Mills.
It's
Yeah.
a big deal,
Really?
man. There's a lot of people pumped about it.
Free Post-it notes.
My boyfriend's been talking about it like at least once a day for the last week and a half. So
You're not tired of that?
no, not at all.
Free whatever Case IH sells.
Right. The Case IH Red Zone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one and only.
By the way, what a fun experiment. I should go home. First thing I say to Angie is, did you hear that the Gophers landed Coy Persich? And just film it for social media.
And then when
You
she
know how
goes,
confused
"Who?"
she would be if I walked through the door and with a smile on my face said, did you hear? She would have zero idea what I was talking about. And honestly, much like Mark gets committed for taking a crap on the desk and Zach questioning why we're not cleaning it up with flushable wipes, I think my wife would say, are you okay? It's a big deal. He's a big deal, I guess.
This is giant news.
Yeah, people are pumped about
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah.
And I mean,
Sure it is.
he's gonna be here for a long time. I mean that
At least a year until somebody else
one
offers him
year
more
until
money.
he. I mean,
Yeah, until they.
Is he a safety? Doesn't he play?
Yeah.
He's a defensive
Yeah.
back, correct?
he's gonna build up a great resume for the transfer portal.
Oh.
Helvey.
It's frustrating, but that's the truth, right?
They'll
I mean,
never work again in Minnesota then.
We've heard a lot of right. We've heard a lot of people say that though. That is a sneaky little thing with college football now. That if your young players break out when they're freshmen, it's like the worst thing that can possibly happen because then they start thinking, well, I have like 2 or
The
3
world
years,
is mine.
right?
Yeah.
That you almost want them to break
Alabama
out as
comes calling.
juniors or seniors so they can make a little bit of money and then they go to the pros. But if they bust out as freshmen, then every college in the world wants to pay them to jump ship.
And you can't not play them because they're going to go somewhere.
Well, yeah, and it's great for the big schools, but a team like Minnesota can't get a guy like that to stick around if that happens.
We're a feeder team. We're a minor league team now, which
PJ has said that, yeah.
He said that?
Basically, he said that.
You can't say that.
He said it without saying it.
Yeah, he just said it without saying it, yeah.
Yeah, if you just come out and say this job sucks, no one's ever going to win here, then everybody says you're a baby. But if you just dance around it and say,
or a puppy,
this is going to be incredibly difficult to win here with the situation with the NIL.
Can we just
he's probably correct.
Be like an Ohio State affiliate or something like that? Like just make it official.
What if we get Halvey the bidet sponsorship and then we take that money and give it to the University of Minnesota to fund NIL deals for
I don't
big
think
players?
Zach wants to give up the money.
Halvey, come on, do it for the greater good.
Okay, fine. Then let's start throwing. How about everybody gives their endorsements away
just
to
you.
the
No, just you.
Yeah, you can just do that. So that's okay.
My endorsement does give away money to
your
that,
initial
to that.
sponsor.
Yeah, you can have them.
Seventh Avenue Pizza helps out a lot with that.
That's a good question for the four of us. For the four of us in this room, though, Mark, Alexis, Sauce, and myself, would you rather have Zach's ass be clean or the Gophers have a quarterback?
Zach's ass be clean.
Go for quarterback.
Oh,
Zach's ass being clean or not doesn't affect me. But the Gophers having a good quarterback
Twice a week it does me, so I'm going for the ass.
But if the Gophers have a quarterback,
he's going for the ass.
Button bar.
He's going for the ass.
But if the Gophers have a quarterback to do what? Hand off on 3rd and 5?
That's true. We don't even need one.
Man, now you're piling on.
Guys, come on.
Oh, sorry, 3rd and 6.
Like qualifications for Gopher quarterback is hands.
Enough out of you, Bidet Daddy.
Power wash my BH.
Yeah. Rosie's on his way.
What a weird show. Headlines next. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this. Son of a...
The Fan.
Don't miss your chance to see comedian Roy Wood Jr. as he brings his Happy to Be Here live tour to the Fillmore on Friday, February 9th. Tickets are on sale now. And you can head over to KFAN.com /calendar for more info and to get your tickets today.
Morning show. Let's dive into headlines, but I want to lead with just asking Alexis about her life for a second. Can we? In headlines, technically.
Yeah, man.
You guys cool with that?
We are.
Now it's time for headlines.
Because I'm still fascinated by Shop HQ.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Shark Tank now the last 6 weeks. I've basically caught up on all the episodes for the last 15 years. And Lori from Shark Tank, right, is famous for QVC. Mm-hmm. And that's one of her big pitches on Shark Tank is I can get you on QVC. You know, basically women all over the country are going to buy your stuff. Follow my lead.
Yep.
I just didn't know this was still such a dominant force in 2023, but all these shopping networks are still giant deals.
Yeah.
Home Shopping Network in the 90s was a big deal.
Yeah.
But that was 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But you work, you do some modeling. Must be nice to be good looking.
Sometimes.
To Shop HQ, right?
Yeah.
So give us your normal day. What do you do? What do you model? How does this thing work in 2023?
So I'm with a couple modeling agencies in the Twin Cities. So I have like agents and stuff who book me for things.
Parrish has the same problem.
Yeah, he gets it. We actually share an agent, funny enough. So my agent, you know, I get booked weekly for shows. So she'll email me and say, here's the shows you're doing this week. And I get that every week. And so I do jewelry, fashion, and sometimes beauty. So basically the show is modeling either a single product if it's beauty. Fashion and jewelry is a variety of products for one singular brand. And basically they dress us. We go out there, we smile and stand there. And they film us wearing the items, and that's it.
Okay, so the jokes back in the day with Price is Right or Wheel of Fortune, right, whether it's Vanna White or one of the gals, Barker's Beauties back in the day, it's how hard can it be to just hold your hand out and say, look, here's a toaster,
it's
right?
Really not.
But there has to be some skill to it, right? There has to be, I'm sure they coached you up and said, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. When you're showing off rings, make sure you do this. So what is that learning process like to learn how you show a camera some bracelets or something?
I mean, I would say the learning process, like knowing what to do. And I, studied TV in school. That's my main work and like sports and all that stuff. So I feel like I have that upper hand going into this because I am experienced in this. Like some models, maybe it might be their first time working in live television, whatever. I get how the cameras work, how the teleprompters work, how the directors, producers talk to you, all that jazz. So there wasn't much of a learning curve for me in that regard. The toughest part, I would say, and I don't even want to say it's tough because people will probably be like, well, that's easy work. And it is a lot of the time, but just like how you present yourself, making sure your hair looks good, your makeup looks good. We do our own hair and makeup. We do it on site, but, we do it ourselves. Yeah. For this work we do.
Really?
And then, they give us clothes to wear, so we dress ourselves in whatever options they give us. And so it's more about how you present yourself. Like I'm worried, like if I have a hair out of place or, my makeup isn't blended correctly, like those are the things that are tougher to get sorted than how you actually present the jewelry, I would say.
So how long are you there before you actually hit on air?
We get an hour to get
An
ready.
hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then however long the shows are.
Man.
How long are the shows usually?
It depends. There's sometimes only 1 hour. I've done shows that are 5 hours long, so it just depends on what it is. Yeah.
Have you guys ever sold a bidet?
We have not.
Why, do you want to model?
Yes.
Do you want me to pitch it to the
Please.
team?
I'd
I know
love
a
to see
guy.
how they
Please.
model that.
I don't know how women would feel watching bidets be modeled on a live
Especially by
shopping network.
Buffalo
Hey,
Bill.
men watch Shop HQ
They do.
too.
That's
Put your
true.
hands down.
That's true.
Certain demo of men, but
Oh,
Zach.
So what
Myself
channel?
included.
I don't know where those channels are.
Yeah.
On my cable package, is it easy to find or is it?
It is pretty
they're in
easy.
the 90s.
So yeah, we were.
Zach. Brilliant.
We were, I know there was like some networks we were off of for a while. Now we're back on. I couldn't even tell you what the exact channel it is you watch, but I know when I scroll through, I see it. QVC, Shop HQ. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So it's not too tough of work. I did a show the other day that the people presenting the items, it was a beauty show, and it was like a stuff that blew out your hair. And the lady was like,
Zach.
she was like, so ladies, what do we tell our husbands we do when we go home? Do we tell them that we got paid to get a blowout? Which we did.
Right.
We did.
Zach, put your hands down.
Mayim Bialik off
Yeah, I saw
of
this.
Jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
She was reportedly earning a 7-figure paycheck for Jeopardy.
Good for her.
But according to a couple of the reports, during the writers' strike, right, the last 6 months where they were just kind of running reruns, according to some sources, Jeopardy realized, why are we paying two hosts? We don't necessarily need two hosts. We don't need Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik. That was probably a mistake. So it sounds like they said they're going with Jennings. So Mayim Bialik is out, according to her.
Yeah, and
She was told that she's done.
her Instagram post or announcement was brilliant. As the holiday break begins in Hollywood, I have some Jeopardy news. Sony has informed me that I will no longer be hosting the syndicated version of Jeopardy. I am incredibly honored to have been nominated for a Primetime Emmy for hosting. I just love that. that just punch.
That's like a little troll.
Yeah, I love that.
And she probably commands more money than Ken Jennings because of what she's done, her resume on TV and everything. So yeah, that was probably the decision. If we don't need two, that one's a lot cheaper.
I do think they're both good at hosting.
No,
I've seen
I
them
do
both.
too.
I think they're both
I don't know
very
who Ken
skilled.
Jennings is.
So he's
like
the
the
guy.
record.
Yeah, he's the guy that 20 years
legend.
ago
Yeah.
won
Zach, you make weird noises back there.
something like 71 straight
Heard
games.
that before.
Yeah.
He was a
He's the
cultural
AJ of
phenomenon
Jeopardy.
for a
Yeah,
couple
exactly.
of months.
Got it, okay.
Exactly.
So he set a whole bunch of records. I believe his money record has been broken.
Yeah,
but not
James
the
did
streak.
that.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
The streak was longer, but the other guy,
Right, Holzhauer
broke
the money record
'cause he went
was
faster.
and he was going for crazy
Daily,
true
yeah, he was the
doubles.
one that just went. Yeah, he was awesome.
He's a
He
gambler.
was awesome to watch.
He's a sports
He
gambler.
was
The dude
fun to
gets it.
watch, man.
Absolutely. Let's see here. No, I don't care about that one. I don't care about this one. Hold, please. Talk amongst yourself. Rhode Island, neither a road nor an island. Discuss.
I was just
That
thinking
one.
how proud my grandma would be of me that I can discuss Jeopardy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeopardy.
I love
Jeopardy
it.
is
I
so
love
hard.
it. I love
It's
Jeopardy.
okay
Now that's
liking game shows.
Yeah, I love
game
it. Really
shows.
is.
I'm going to like game shows and video games till I'm 95.
video
Amen.
games are
I'm with you
great.
too. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
you
should
got
get
to
that.
give that. You got to give it
Is
a
it
whirl.
still wrapped in plastic?
Still
You haven't
haven't
even opened
started
it?
it yet.
Oh, you got
I'm
it.
hoping
It's
Santa brings
awesome.
me a Switch for Christmas.
All right, so these two
He spent all
headlines.
his money on the bidet.
Yeah.
These two headlines basically will just scream my ignorance, but I'll just admit it. Both the CNN story and the Yahoo story about the Minnesota state flag have a similar headline, but I'll read the Yahoo one. Minnesota ditches controversial old state flag, unveils fresh design. I will admit, until the last couple of weeks, I had no idea anybody cared about our state flag.
I'm finding out now.
Until everybody ripped the designs.
What? It's controversial?
And I didn't know it was controversial.
I didn't either.
What's it controversial for?
Why is it controversial?
I believe it's some of the language on there. Let me hang on a second.
No, it's there's a Native American and a horse.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I mean, I know what it looks like, but I guess I didn't know.
And then there's a guy doing some farming or something. I don't know.
That is controversial.
But
put Bidet Daddy
I'm
on
still
it.
confused.
I thought initially it was just because it was ugly.
Oh. It is terrible. Sad.
Yeah, it's boring.
That's
That's
why-
for sure. When you go around to the other states, when you get traded, you're lucky enough to get see a lot of other state flags. Yeah, it is pretty boring.
Yeah, but it's
I guess.
ours and it's
Well,
boring.
yeah.
But
So
luckily, they replaced one with something even more boring.
So, but that's, I guess, that's my question about this whole state flag controversy on Twitter the last month or so. Everybody ripped the new design saying they're boring and who wants these. But look at the old one is so bad, but I didn't know that was our state flag.
I didn't either.
Who the hell sees our state flag?
The only state flag
The
we
governor.
see is the California one because people in California are super proud of that state flag.
California
and it's
Republic.
kind of cool.
Well, yeah, it
it's
is
cool.
a pretty cool flag.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Got a bear on it.
I just didn't know we were living under this shameful flag
Yeah, no,
that we were all embarrassed
I didn't even
by.
know that they were redoing it. I have a friend who's in graphic design, and he was texting us about it. He's like, "What do you guys think for the new flag?" I'm like, "We're getting a new flag." Like, I didn't even know it was a thing
Yeah.
until like a week ago.
Yeah, I'm with Alexis on this
Yeah.
one.
So now that the new one's out,
What's it
will
look like? What's the new one look like?
It's like two stripes with a star
It's
Yeah.
very boring.
No, yeah, it's a
and
chevron.
a triangle.
The Chevron, the
Yeah.
gas
Nice word.
station.
The shape, which is
I do have
the
one of
gas
those
station's
magic
named after the shape.
smartphones. I can look that up
But
myself.
it's kind of not a chevron, but kind of is. There's a star. And
I
then
think they're equally boring, to be honest.
Well, it's got some baby blue in it, so I like that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Jaguars.
represent the Mississippi River.
Well, then
it
they should have just put a
represents
river on there.
Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars in my mind, so I like it.
Stamp of approval from Perry.
Madonna
It's
is
White Bear Lake
65
down.
years old, which is kind of crazy to think about that. She's 65. But remember how she got sick this summer and there was a lot of mystery surrounding it and we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if she was on her deathbed. We didn't know what was happening. Well, she's starting to kind of reveal some of the details of what she went through. She says she was in a 48-hour induced coma.
Yikes.
Really? Mark!
She had a bacterial infection and hospitalized, and they put her in a medically induced coma for 48 hours.
Wow. The most shocking thing about this story is that she's 65. If you would have given me 15 guesses to guess her age, I don't think 65 would have been
Would
one
you
of
have
them.
said older?
I don't know what I would have said. I think I would have
said
started
older.
young, and then I probably would have overcorrected and said old. I don't know if I would have landed on 65.
I thought Madonna was in her 70s.
I would have probably said 50s.
I mean, she was popular 40 years ago. Think
Yeah,
about that.
I suppose.
Yeah, so she was in her 20s at the time, right?
Yeah.
That math works out. Does it not?
Yeah, no, it
Maybe
does.
I just didn't want to
thought she
admit
was
how
older.
old I was.
I didn't realize how
That's
bad
why
she was,
I was
though.
going with the 50s.
How what?
How bad she was in
Oh,
terms of
that's not the
health.
word I
yeah.
thought you said.
I thought you also said fat.
Yeah, it did kind of sound
I
like you
swear
said
to God,
that.
that's what I
Zach.
thought you said.
100% what I thought.
I mean, you can get away with that kind of, but don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Advice from Sauce.
Oh, gosh, what a horrible segment that would be.
A lot of
Entertaining as hell.
That's true, actually.
A lot of people online are arguing about the Matthew Perry autopsy.
Yeah,
you seen the
It
argument?
came out.
Yeah, so ketamine is what the autopsy says.
Okay.
But now, aren't people debating, Sauce, maybe you're following this closely, more closely than I am, but people are still debating whether or not that is even fair.
Well, somebody has
I don't
come
know,
out.
Isn't an autopsy an autopsy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
somebody has
fair.
come out and said that, like, don't. Basically, ketamine isn't what you think it is.
So I was just going to ask, what is it? 'Cause
Yeah, it is.
I've
I
heard
know
of
a
it,
lot
but I don't know
guys
what it
in-
is.
I don't know what it is.
I was in this treatment center. There was a lot of people there for that.
But people,
Special K, I
one of
just
his-
heard about
but
it.
didn't
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of his
yeah.
doctors come out and say, like,
It was part of his routine.
yeah, like
So,
it's not.
according to the
he wasn't-
autopsy-
that's different than
meant, like,
some-
he
some-
wasn't
just some
using
random-
it like recreationally. Is what
Yeah.
I think is what.
Okay,
he
then
meant,
that's
Yeah.
different. If his doctor
Yeah.
comes out, and
The
there's a-
doctors-
that's
What
Come
is
out
it
and defended
used
it.
for medically?
That's
A pain medication? Okay.
Due to the large amount of ketamine in Matthew Perry's system, the coroner's office determined his death couldn't have been from his final ketamine treatment, which was reportedly a week and a half prior. I don't know.
Yeah, it's ketamine is a
It's like a cat tranquilizer.
Used medically for induction and maintenance of anesthesia, and it's also used as a treatment for depression, a pain management tool, and as a recreational.
So wait, they're saying that he just had too much in his body to be considered?
Yeah, so the autopsy says acute use of ketamine, but I think it's the doctor that prescribed it to him. Said, quote, "I don't think it's fair to say he died from ketamine. If you use Xanax in a hot tub, you could drown. And if you are drunk in a hot tub, you could drown.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're just in a hot tub for more than 30 minutes, you could have possibilities. That's why you see warnings on hot tubs. So I don't know why it's really fair to say ketamine killed him."
So if it wasn't that, then what was it? Or do they not know?
It was the mixture. I mean, it was don't go in a hot tub after ketamine.
Yeah.
It was that.
Interesting.
But again, I guess they're saying his final treatment was a week and a half before that.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. I've seen a couple of Friends reruns since he
it's
died.
so hard to watch.
It's weird
Yeah.
to watch now.
Yeah.
It just is really tough, and I don't know why that is. There's a lot of people that are dead.
Yeah.
I watch the Game Show Network all the time, and when you watch Match Game, all those sons of bitches are dead. I'm
Yeah.
watching a bunch of dead people play games, like
I feel like
Betty
it's-
White, Richard Dawson,
Yeah.
Charles Nelson Riley.
What?
Friends was
They're
just
all
such
dead.
a core show for all of us. I'm not even like a diehard Friends person. Like some people will like die on that hill where they're like, that's the greatest show ever. I'm not one of those people, but it's a classic show. I mean, I watched it just because it's so classic.
Yeah,
and even I'm having a hard time like seeing clips of it now.
It's watched a lot in my house.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
The same way with All in the Family.
They're all dead?
Carol O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor.
He's a White Bear Lake icon.
He is.
Yep.
Who?
Carol O'Connor. He's not from White Bear Lake. They just love his mentality.
Why is he bad at math?
Probably.
Maybe. So the ketamine in and of itself doesn't stop your breathing, but it can keep you from waking up if you're submerged. That's what somebody said that's an expert as well. So it wouldn't necessarily stop your breathing, but if you go under, it's not going to help you.
Why are hot tubs so dangerous? Because I was in one on Saturday and Friday. We had one in Stillwater at the Airbnb, and it was very relaxing. Like, what's so dangerous about this?
I don't think you're supposed to sit in hot water for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And I think when you're
anybody.
drinking and your blood is thinned, I think it's even worse.
Well, what, like pregnant women aren't supposed to go in hot tubs? Like there's certain like medications
Really?
you shouldn't be on or shouldn't be in a hot tub
Yeah.
if you're on them.
Like ketamine.
Yeah.
Gary.
I wish Maxo was here for this one, but a couple
He
of
passed
you
away.
are Marvel superhero fans.
I can't listen. I can't listen to the Power Trip anymore.
Without Max?
Yeah.
It's tough. I know
What
Aquaman
happened?
and the Lost Kingdom is not a Marvel movie, but just stay with me. It's DC. They are already projecting that movie's going to struggle.
Oh, it looks terrible.
The
you know who
trailer
thinks
looks
it looks
terrible.
great?
Chris, probably.
Yeah, he tweeted about how great
It just looks awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this has been a rough year for superhero movies, and now they're saying Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is going to suffer that as well.
Oof.
You know what we've been saying for years? Like, when is this country going to go through just withdrawal? We're just going to finally say enough is enough. There's too many of them. This is overkill, and we just pull back. I think this is the year. I
Yeah.
think Marvel and DC and everybody else is realizing you've given us way too many, and most of them, especially lately, are not good, right? The Marvels was a giant failure.
Yeah, giant
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania
Terrible.
underperformed.
Yep.
Blue Beetle underperformed. I think a lot of Eternals a year or two ago was an epic failure.
Yeah.
They're running ice cold.
Especially because with my kids, or especially Turner, loving that. And man, we haven't even seen any of those. He doesn't even have any interest
When
in
kids
seeing
don't
any
wanna
of those
watch it.
movies that you rattled off right there. And that's their demographic.
Well, and with the bit with Jonathan Majors basically he was fired as what's the character he was?
Kang.
That about that. The entire universe going forward was about that. There was an Avengers movie called The Kang Dynasty because I think they were all going to get together and fight him, and now that has changed. I think that they will take a step back and be like, all right, we got to go a different direction. And I mean, the Fantastic Four, I think, is coming out.
There's just too many of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
This story mentions the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie brought in nearly 850 million worldwide, but they're saying that's kind of the unicorn. That one did well, but almost everything else in the last calendar year has failed.
Yeah.
I think it's overkill. I think we're tired of them just putting out anything. Now, I don't like almost any of them, so I'm the wrong person to ask anyway. But for the people that love them, you can feel those people starting to lose interest as well.
I mean,
Turner.
from 2018
lives for those movies.
2018 and 2019. I mean, the first Avengers movie is A+. Even Age of Ultron, the one in 2015, that's fine. But Infinity War into Endgame, even though it's cartoony and super
You're gonna get there.
superhero, ish, they're great films, man. Avengers, Infinity War, and the Endgame are two of the best back-to-back films in any franchise. The way Infinity War ended and the way Endgame, the scene where they all come back, is an iconic movie scene. And then they've fallen apart since. They've been bad since 2019.
I mean, that's just like almost any series, chronicle, whatever in movies. The first one's almost always the best.
Like Die Hard.
Wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like, sometimes you'll have another one that's good somewhere in the mix, but nothing ever really matches up to that first one, right? I mean, if you think of a lot of the classics in movie history,
Godfather,
Harry Potter, Back to the
That one hangs
Future, like you pick any, movie chronicle. The first one's always the best.
Almost always. Speaking of the best, of course, a lot of year-end lists are coming out because the year's almost over. Rolling Stone released their top 10 TV shows of the year. And by Rolling Stone, I basically mean Alan Sepinwall, but still, he's the writer for Rolling Stone that released his 10 best shows of the year. I'm really only doing this for one reason, but stay with me. Number 10 is Party Down on Stars.
Never
Never
heard
heard
of
of
it.
it.
Back. It's with Adam Scott. It was a show a long time ago, and then they brought it back because it's like got a cult following. I've never seen it either. I've heard it's hilarious, though, but have not seen it. Number 9, I've never heard of. It's a show called Somebody Somewhere on HBO.
Oh, I've seen commercials for that, but
I don't know it.
I don't know what that is.
Number 8, Kunk on Earth on Netflix. That's
Very good.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's very good.
Punk on Earth is good.
Very funny. It's a mockumentary about going all over the world. It's learning about history, but she's kind of a Borat character.
Oh, okay.
So she does these interviews with people that don't really know they're part of a bit.
It's a great bit. It's
Got it.
very
Okay.
funny. Yeah.
Yep. But you'll know in the first, in the Pump Up the Jam Technotronic bit made me laugh every time, every episode. But
great.
you'll know in the first 15 minutes whether or not that's your humor.
Okay.
So if you hate the first 15 minutes, turn it off. It's not getting any better.
Monty
It's not getting any
Python
worse.
like, yeah.
I love it, though. It was very
it's
funny.
Genius.
Number 7's a show I've never heard of. It's an animated show called Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix, if you like that.
Never heard of it.
Number 6, I like bringing up Beef on Netflix. I think it's funny because remember Rosie raved about it, and then we brought it up, and he's like, "I don't know what show you're talking about." You're the one who told us it was good.
And then when I think it's like a very serious show. And then he was like, "Yeah, hilarious." And it's like, Rosie, did you see it?
I think it is a drama comedy. I think it's supposed to have some dark humor.
He saw it, but he didn't want to talk about
He
it.
didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Number 5, I still haven't seen. This is kind of egregious. The Last of Us on HBO. Everybody raved about
Nikki
it.
loved it. I haven't seen it either.
Heard it was great.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Number 4, Natasha Lyonne's show on Peacock called Poker Face.
Heard of it.
Hockey
Also heard
loves
it was
that.
very good.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson, who did Glass Onion and things like that.
Yeah.
Put it
Daddy
together.
loves that
I heard it was
show.
really good. Number 3, Parish, Succession
Amen.
on HBO.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, great finale.
So
Correct.
good.
Final season was fantastic.
So good.
Here's really the only reason I'm bringing this up. This is for Dave Schwartz, who works for the Minnesota Wild. The number 2 show of the year, The Bear.
Yeah, A+.
On Hulu and
So good.
FX. It's fantastic.
The second season
Everybody on the planet loves it except for Dave Schwartz.
The second season is just as good as the first season, maybe better. The Christmas episode in the second season is an iconic TV episode. It's just
Jamie
perfect
Lee
with
Curtis.
every angle. The Jamie Lee Curtis scene where she finally walks up to the restaurant is so good. It's wonderful. Did I cut out there?
Then I only need 2 wishes.
No. But yeah,
And
what's
the number one show is another show I've heard a lot of good things about, but I haven't seen it. Reservation Dogs, also
yeah.
on
Yeah.
Hulu and FX.
Hey, Hogs watches that.
I've watched none of those and only heard of, I think, 3 of them.
You have not seen Succession
You
at all?
gotta
Nope.
watch.
Man, is it good.
It's awesome.
It's a top 10 show of all
It's
time.
just spectacular. The characters, everything about it.
I'd put it in the back half of my personal top 10, right
Yeah.
in that 8, 9, 10 range.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Oh, I still like I still can't, even one of my favorite episodes, like the urinary tract infection from, was it the last season? What an amazing episode that one was.
I love watching UTIs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Bidet Daddy?
That's the only way I could describe that quickly to you, Corey, and I knew you knew exactly which one I was talking
I
about.
thought you were a JMO.
A bidet
cranberry
could maybe
guy.
help with that. Maybe.
No,
Zach,
just
where do you
the
stand
right
on
medication.
that? UTIs and bidets.
Well,
do you have a strong take on just general hygiene on the front side?
Well, I mean, they do help with women. Just saying.
Do help with women.
They do help with
They
women.
have
do
it. My
help with
bidet has a female option.
They do help with women.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a second.
Female option?
Is there 2 streams of water
How
for
do you-
that?
Yeah.
Zach.
I mean, that too. It redirects
And
the
how
stream.
do you know this, Helvy?
Yeah,
Because
he's
there's a
tried
giant
every-
knob that I crank.
Oh.
Okay.
button bar.
Parrish, since he's playing the Succession theme song,
Yeah.
in the world that we live in where we can almost always, unless you're watching live, you can skip over the theme song, right? You can skip ahead, skip intro, right?
Yep.
I don't skip over this one. It's 60
No.
seconds. It's not super short, but I'm like, I'm going to sit through it because it sets the vibe.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's great.
The worst one, and it's not even close, the worst TV show theme song that is almost 2 minutes long. It's terrible, and I skip it, and I hate the show, The Morning Show.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
And
my
I'm
God.
glad
It's
I
so
haven't,
long.
That
because-
freaking intro is 9 minutes.
Yeah,
You're
it takes forever.
It's a bunch of shapes that are dancing.
It's-
and
I think it's like
what is
3
going-
minutes.
It's so long
Yeah,
and it's
super
terrible.
long.
So if you're like, where the hell is the remote?
I can't believe you hate watch that show.
Oh, I hate that show. Drove me
I love
nuts.
it. I love that anyone hate watches anything.
Yeah.
I do it all
I
the time.
barely even watch things I like.
Right?
Mark,
He
that's
hate
part of my
watches me work.
personality.
I know. I love it.
Sometimes I enjoy figuring out why I hate things just as much as I figure out why I like things. Saw sends me a podcast that I despise, and I listen to it every week.
You listen to the latest one?
Yeah, start to finish. I hate it. Can't help myself.
We'll get another one tomorrow.
I know. I know.
Give you something to listen to.
I know.
I can't believe you stuck with the morning show.
I only went back to season 3 because of John Hamm, because John Hamm kicks ass.
Yeah, he's
love that
great.
dude in almost everything. And
Besides, he's a blues fan.
Yeah.
he's fair. And he's good in the show, but the show's so bad.
Are you caught up on Fargo?
Yeah.
You
Well,
stayed up
hang
with-
on.
I can't wait to.
I did not
can't
watch
wait to
last
start
night.
that. I can't wait to start that.
I think that's what we and I'll do before she goes to work. I love it. It's perfect for me because it's like, it's not like some seasons of Fargo are way above my
Lot of
head.
metaphors.
Where
You
I'm
don't
like,
like those.
I hate those. Where I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I think I have a grasp of what is going on in this season.
There's almost no metaphor except for that.
The 500-year bit,
Exactly.
which I don't get yet, and I
Right.
want to see where
That's
that
okay.
ties
You don't
in.
have to get that.
But I love it. I know it's corny and like where they like ran away from the house and nobody saw.
Yeah, there's almost
That's-
too much action
Yeah,
for me.
it's a little cartoonish.
It is a little cartoonish. A
But-
lot of very
but I love it.
Convenient escapes.
I love it though. I just love it.
It's fun.
The flip in the hospital with the room tag was great. I love
Yeah,
that
again,
stuff.
some of that a little too convenient.
Yeah.
But it's
But I love
compared
it.
to the morning show, this is a masterpiece.
It's good. It's one of my favorite seasons so far.
yeah. I mean, there's only 5.
Yeah,
First one's still the best.
with Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
That was
That
an
was-
incredible show.
It was.
That
Yeah.
was. I don't know, man. I wish you could. I liked this season. The first. I did watch the first episode, and I've liked the other seasons, but they just have not reached that level yet.
Alexis is so out of the loop because she reads books.
Yeah.
You have no idea
I
what
am
we're talking
watching a
about.
show right now though, but it's none of these.
Which one?
I'm stuck on Selling Sunset. I'm gonna get made fun of, but I just get
Well,
sucked
I
into
mean-
the drama.
Okay.
It's good.
The third
Girls are
season
pretty.
of Fargo was the worst one.
Is that the Ewan McGregor one?
I hated that. That
You
was
didn't like
unwatchable.
that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he ruined it.
Unwatchable.
I don't even think I watched.
Unwatchable. How bad that is.
See, I thought it was way better than unwatchable, but I could argue that was still probably the worst of the 5.
Yeah, season 4 is fine. It just got weird and everybody.
And you hated the metaphor.
I hated the Wizard of Oz. I hated
episode.
that.
I thought that was maybe the best
No, I thought
episode
it
of the
was
year. I thought it was
fun.
super creative.
But the first 2 seasons are good. Jesse Plemons and Kristen Dunst, who are married in real life, that's good.
Are they really?
Yeah, they are, right? Yeah.
Wow, Jesse.
I forgot Ted Danson was in that season.
Landry got.
Yeah.
By
the way,
Mary Jane Watson.
I don't think it's a coincidence that there was the
Watson.
Wizard of Oz episode last season in Fargo, and then the main character in this year's season is called
Dorothy.
Dorothy. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Maybe it ties in. I don't
Maybe
know
it ties
how.
in.
I'll have to have
Maybe
you
it's
explain it
some
to me.
metaphor.
No, metaphors are dumb. Just tell me what's happening. Give me the cliff notes right off the bat.
Metaphors
Or have boobs and violence. Then I'll watch.
Yeah, but Boobs and Violence was basically The Idol with The Weeknd on HBO, and that's one of the worst shows in the history
I
of
can't believe you
HBO.
watched that, too.
It's HBO. I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
There was nudity, and I couldn't watch it. I thought it was so bad.
But even before that was out on HBO, people talked about how bad it was.
Yeah, toxic set, and there were people complaining
Mr.
about how
Z said it was
cringy it
brutal.
was.
Yeah.
And it was just basically the worst. Parrish, we're going to see you on Friday, correct?
Oh, yes, you will see me on Friday.
How did you hear last week's episode? How would you have done? Cory Provis got one in his debut.
I did not hear it. I was...
Oh, thanks for the support.
Yeah.
Sleeping?
No, I was on a flight, actually. I had an excuse. I was flying out to the NHL Network. So, yeah, I heard my pick from, oh, gosh, I'm blanking.
Material?
Thank you very much.
You picked it. I mean, that was the right
CDM.
pick.
No, I was
That was
pumped
the right
about that.
pick,
I was very happy. That was the last thing I heard, and then I got on a plane, and I apologize. I never got back up.
You didn't have to sweat because Zach lost the chart challenge. You and I just cruised.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Amen.
You're lucky.
And Alexa, speaking of initials, don't forget.
That next year's my year.
It's going to be 2024.
Next year's my year.
You and Audra are eligible
Bring
to
me
be
back
selected.
in.
We'll see if you get
I had
selected.
such a good comeback. I
Audra's
re-earned my
been talking
spot.
about it for last 2 seasons.
Well, she's not guaranteed to be welcome
No,
back.
I'm not.
She's just
I'm not. I gotta earn
eligible.
my way, yeah.
You are a former initials champion, though. You have
I am.
won.
Yes.
And that helps the resume. Let's just be
Thank
honest.
you.
We'll see. I think it's $55,000 on Friday. We're up to $55K.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm close
Big
to
money.
cashing my bet.
$55,000. Somebody's
wonder
going to
what
win
it's
it
at.
at some point. Alexis, thanks for your time. That was
Thank you
fun.
guys. Always
Mark,
a blast.
See you in 2 days.
See you in a couple days, boys.
All right, 9 to noon is next. We're back tomorrow, 5:30 to 9. Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
To listen back to the Trip Morning Show or to hear previous shows, podcast us on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.